for the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the dog, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still the answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. Breaking news, Donald Trump has done it again. I think this is probably the most consequential thing that a president could do. Let me put my hat on. I'll probably give him free advertisement. The most consequential thing that a president can do, in part, is to end a war. This is potentially, could be, the end of the war in Israel against Hamas. There's a ceasefire deal on the table. Hamas has agreed to it, and we know they shady as a mud. So I take that with a grain of salt. But allegedly, Donald Trump has been able to negotiate to get our hostages back. Now, Joe Sleepy, half one foot in the grave Biden, is going to try to take credit for it because his administration is in power right now for the next, I don't know, couple of days. But Donald Trump said this unequivocally, that if you don't give the hostages back by the time I'm sworn in, there's going to be hell to pay. And Donald Trump literally has a few days before he's sworn in, and they decided to make a business decision because Donald Trump is going to do what he said he's going to do. Now, let's play the clip of what Donald Trump said a week ago, right? Is that what this is? A clip that Donald Trump said a week ago, wrote a clip.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Why can't every politician say this? Why can't Joe Biden come out and say, if I was the president, I would be just as I would be more more vulgar than what he just did. I think what he said was great. I think it was very presidential. If I was the president, I'd say, you know what, man? There's going to be a lot of flower bringing and song singing if y'all don't get these hostages back over here immediately. I don't know if you guys have enough grave sites. I don't know if you have enough rubble. I don't know if y'all going to be able to move that rubble out of the way. You will not repair your country for centuries to come. I will make sure that every single person who is in favor of, supports, or whatever that is in Gaza, and you support Hamas, you're gonna meet them virgins real quick. You better get it together. That's what I would have said. All right, let me play a clip of Scott Jennings thanking Donald Trump, and then we'll play the Fox News clip alluding to the breaking news. Well, let's go to Fox News clip since you have it up already. Let's go to Fox News clip real quick. Roll the clip.
It has now been confirmed here at Fox News. A ceasefire deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas after 15 months of war and the taking of those hostages, many from different countries, but certainly America on that list. The hostages are in part of this agreement. Let's go straight away to Trey Yinks, who is live for us in Tel Aviv. Trey?
Yeah, Harris, this is breaking news right now. According to a source familiar with the ongoing talks, a ceasefire deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas. I do want to just read to you what this source just sent. Quote, Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal reached following the Qataris' meeting with Hamas negotiators for a final push following last-minute additions by the group. There were some reports that indicated Hamas officials were trying to push the Israelis to change their position about a key corridor that sits along the Gaza-Egypt border called the Philadelphia Corridor. Now, I am told that the Qatari prime minister himself was in the negotiating room and pushed these Hamas officials to accept the agreement on the table. What we are looking at here that will be signed tonight, a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas that will implement a pause in fighting between the two sides for 42 days. This is a 6-week agreement that will ultimately see 33 hostages released from Hamas captivity in Gaza. We are told by a number of sources some of those hostages were killed and their bodies will be returned to Israel, but at least 23 of them are believed to be alive.
Now, let me give my commentary. I would like to believe, which I think is a good thing, right? It's starting out as a good, I don't know if it's in good faith or not, but it's starting out with the appearance of a good faith ceasefire. But there is no real ceasefire, right? Can we agree to this? Like, Israel can't just stop now, right? You killed hostages. Like, what do we do about that? You get to take hostages, 100 and some hostages, and then you get to kill three quarters of them. And then you bring the other ones back maimed and traumatically damaged forever. And that's supposed to be, oh, we got we've made amends. We're not gonna continue to attack you because you gave some of our hostages back who are probably maimed. No, I don't see it that way. I see temporarily, maybe they can slow down a little bit, re-get the military equipment, find some better tactics, because I don't trust Hamas. I don't trust that Hamas is going to follow through with what they said. And what's going to happen, and we all know this is going to happen to some degree, potentially, is that Hamas is going to violate, and then Israel's going to respond, and then they're going to blame Israel. Israel's killing kids and doing all this other stuff. This is what they're going to say. They are going to say that about Israel because there are some people that hate Israel. They hate the mere existence of Israel. They secretly hate Jews. And so it ain't nothing they're going to do right. They are going to hate them until the day that Jesus Christ comes back. I'm not one of them people. You know, I have a lot of respect for Jews. I think the Jews should have their own state and their own autonomy. That's their land that they had from the very beginning, in my opinion. I mean, not my opinion about the land, in my opinion that should be held as a factor in them being able to return back to Israel. And look at what they've done to Israel. Israel's beautiful. I went there. They rebuilt it, highways, innovated. I mean, I don't know about Tel Aviv. I've never been to Tel Aviv, but when you talk about the old city of Jerusalem and different things like that, it looked like they've done a pretty good job with that. And then you go to the West Bank and it's like the hood over here. What are y'all doing over here? Y'all not taking care of none of your stuff. But over here in Israel, the Jews are taking care of their stuff and it's clean. So anyway, I think that Donald Trump is doing a good work. And some people may say it wasn't Trump, it was the Qatari president or whatever. No, they were talking about Trump in that meeting. They say, look, bro, I'm telling you, Donald Trump ain't got it all, man. He's 78 years old. He on the last leg of the relay. He will go out with a bang. Do you really want to see this happen? So you better start doing right and getting to the bottom of this discussion, because Donald Trump is about to be the president in a few days, and it's going to be grass. I don't know why you think he playing. Do he look like he playing? I don't think he playing. You see what happened to Soleimani? Turned him into ground beef on the side of the road. I don't think Trump playing. And they go, okay, Allah Akbar. They did their little thing, signed it off. You know, I make fun of the Allah Akbar stuff because y'all done messed it up. Allah Akbar wouldn't be a bad word if y'all wasn't saying and blowing up stuff. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying the ones who do it. Y'all can't. You say they say Allah Akbar everything they do, blowing up, kidnapping people, stealing hostages, and raping people and all kind of stuff. I saw them Allah Akbar when they had the Jews. They running over to Gaza, putting them up in caves and stuff. Don't get mad at me. Y'all don't want to mess that word up. So every time somebody hear Allah Akbar, they either dodging or looking and wondering what's going to happen. Y'all messed that up. Y'all messed up the word Allah too, because Allah just simply means God. But y'all got to add that extra stuff and be doing all that crazy stuff. And now people don't see that God, when you say it, they see all that crazy stuff y'all be doing. Just be honest, man. Look, you got to be held to account. When people look at me crazy because other black people be cutting up, I can't get mad. Black people be cutting up. So sometimes they got to see if I'm like them or not. And I get it. Men be cutting up. Can you trust a man to be in a locker room with a bunch of women? No, because men being there cutting up, they can't keep their stuff together, man. Women too. Can you trust your wife or your girlfriend to be over some man house with just her and him? No. Women cheat all the time. They do it too. You can't trust it. Anyway, let me move on. What you say? Yeah, let's do Scott Jennings. Let's have Scott Jennings clip play. Roll.
I do think that all sides agree that Trump's hand in this has made a difference, one way or another.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with Trump. He's been perfectly clear. He has not vacillated about his message that if they don't send our people back, there's going to be hell to pay. And thank God he has been on that message and he has not wavered from it. He's not stepped back from it. And I don't really care, candidly, who the president is when all this happens. I just want him back. I mean, I've worn this yellow ribbon out here every night for over a year because I think there's so many families who are just devastated. They're hurting. They don't know what the situation is. And we need this to come to an end. There are Americans involved here. Look, I think we're going to end up paying a very heavy price in this deal. I'm sure some terrorists are probably going to wind up being let out of jails. I don't particularly like that. But to settle this, to get peace and to get our people back, I think it took Trump winning the election and being clear-eyed about it to make it happen.
Scott,
if you were Iran or any terrorist with any level of responsibility, what you have witnessed is that the Biden administration has tried to, at various points, put shackles on Israel. You can say they've been strong on it, but they have at times tried to put rhetorical and military shackles on Israel. There is no expectation that Trump would put shackles on anybody, and there is some expectation that he might just get involved himself if they don't send our people back. So I do think this was the essential element to getting this over the finish line, and I hope it happens right now. A great nation, a superpower, does not permit its people to be held and treated like this for as long as we have. I don't think Donald Trump wants to be taking over a country that was willing to permit that kind of behavior by these thugs and terrorists. And so I think that's why he was clear-eyed in his statements, and I think that's why they're responding.
All right,
This dude should win a Nobel Peace Prize for being on CNN cutting these people up every day. I love Scott Jennings, man. I'm gonna fly him out here and interview him one day. I think he's doing the Lord's work, man. I mean, the only, to use his words, clear-eyed person on CNN is him. And I think it's true, man. When you have a strong leader, people they straighten up, man. They straighten up. When they know you ain't playing, they straighten up. It's just like parents and children. You got the parent that empty promises. They say, you do that again, I'm gonna whoop your butt. They never whoop them. I'm gonna put you in timeout. They never time out nowhere. If you do that, I'm not gonna buy you no more toys. They at Walmart right now buying toys. That parent don't get as much respect as the parent that say, when I say something, you know I mean it. Now, if I told you I gotta get you, I don't want to get you. I want to have a good day today. I don't want no, but I got to get you because I told you I got to get you. And you got to respect that when daddy say, I'm going to get you if you lie to me, it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. I got to get you. And what happens when your kids are confronted with situations, they know, okay, my dad is going to get me and I don't want that. Mama, she might just forgive me. I remember when I was at my daddy's house. I remember one time me and my brother got in trouble at my mama's house. And my mama was a great mama, but she like every mama, they kind of let their boys get away with certain things because they don't want to. Daddy don't care. He have no emotional response to it. Me and my brother playing in the house, we had these little blow up things where like you punch it. I go to drop kick, or one of us, my brother went to drop kick it, or I went to drop kick it, and he moved the thing out the way. And so I went through the wall. Now, my mama ain't got a lot of money like that at the time. So me going through the wall is a big deal. Somebody got to fix my foot through that wall. Oh, my. Mama got home. We say we going to get a whooping. I went to the bathroom and I stayed and I fell asleep in there. I was like, if I stay in here long enough, she'll forget. And I came out, we didn't even get a whooping because my mama forgot. She was over it by the time I came out the bathroom. Now, Daddy, on the other hand, he like an elephant. He ain't never going to forget. I don't care if a tornado hit, 9/11 happened. You still finna get that whooping after we go for shelter. When we get down to the cellar, I'm going to whoop you after that tornado finish blowing through here. Whole house gone. You still going to get a whooping right there on that frame, right there on that door frame. Put your hand on there. Daddies don't care. They going to get you, boy. So both parents are equally, sometimes we didn't need to get got, but we got. And sometimes we need to get got, but we didn't. It plays off each other. That's why you need your mama and your dad. All right. I know a lot of people are going to give Trump a lot of credit for this. He should. And Israel, don't back down. Keep pushing. To every single Hamas soldier is no longer with us, pushing up daisies. And, I think they should control Gaza, to be honest. You gave them a chance, and look what they're doing with it. Terrorism. Take over Gaza and put these people in a position where they can take care of themselves through your help and support. All right, let's go to Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi at the confirmation hearing. I wanted to talk about Pete Hegseth real quick, but put Pam Bondi on the screen, and I'm just going to give my quick thoughts about Pete Hegseth. Some of you guys didn't see it. I think overall Pete Hegseth did a good job in his confirmation hearing. He's very articulate. He's also got experience being on television. The guy know how to read a teleprompter and read papers and stuff, so he can roll that thing out real good and neat. I did have concerns about some of his answers. I thought he could have answered them very succinctly and quickly and been resolved. But I do see that he didn't want to give them fodder, right? Did you have physical contact or physically beat any of your wives, right? And if you did, would that be disqualifying? He go, I never beat my wife. But he didn't say that this would be disqualifying. What I would have liked him to say is that, yeah, of course, I didn't beat my wives. It's all a lie. And if I did, disqualify me now. Right now. Somebody pull up some evidence I beat these wives, and I'll step out. I'll walk off here right now. Okay, next question. Or he could say, well, no, since you're speaking hypotheticals, if you beat your wife, I think you shouldn't have this position either. I would like for him to push it back on him a little bit because, I don't know, maybe they are coached. Maybe there's an attorney that coached them to say certain things. I don't know. I think these hearings, if you're clean, is easy. Have you ever beat any of the women you've been with? No, I have never. I would never beat women. Okay. All right, next question. What about an allegation of you assaulting a woman? I never assault women. I ain't got to do that. Look at me. Do you think I got to assault women? No, I get it anytime I want. That's what Pete just said, because that's probably what was happening. I mean, just keep it real with him. I'm being superfluous a little bit. I can't take stuff seriously. I like to joke about it. But I think Pete should have had some different responses. I feel like it's very clean. I didn't do it. I would never do anything like that. I'll uphold the people's business. Yeah, I was a knucklehead in the past. I made mistakes like anybody else. He who is without sin cast the first stone. That means any one of y'all that had a problem in your relationship, are you really talking about me? And you got caught cheating on the other thing. Are you really talking about me? Look at his son. He pardoned his son. His son got prostitutes in Ukraine somewhere. Y'all really want to have a moral argument up in here? Anyway, let's listen to Pam, because I think Pam actually, I haven't watched the full confirmation hearing of both candidates. I'm just watching the clips that have gone viral and I've seen circulating the internet. I actually think Pam did better than Pete Hegseth. And one reason is because I think Pam is cleaner. I think her stuff is easy to defend. Roll the clip.
And it would not be appropriate for a prosecutor to start with a name and look for a crime. It's a prosecutor's job to start with a crime and look for a name, correct?
Senator, I think that is the whole problem with the weaponization that we have seen the last 4 years and what's been happening to Donald Trump. They targeted Donald Trump. They went after him, actually starting back in 2016. They targeted his campaign. They have launched countless investigations against him. That will not be the case if I am Attorney General. I will not politicize that office. I will not target people simply because of their political affiliation. Justice will be administered even-handedly throughout this country. Senator, we've got to bring this country back together. We've got to move forward or we're going to lose our country.
Hey, great response. We have another one? Come on with it. Roll it.
Are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that
No,
question.
it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one
Based
has
on what
asked
you
me
know.
to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a
The
hypothetical.
president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that, aren't you?
No one has asked me to investigate
But the president
Liz.
has
We're
called-
also
the
worried about
president-
Liz Cheney,
the
Senator.
president has
You know what
called
we
for
should
this-
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
The
please
crime rate
answer
in
my questions.
California right now
You are
is
aware,
through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your robberies
Ms.
are
Bondi,
87%
my
higher
question-
than the national
my question
average.
is this.
That's what I
My
want to
question
be
is
focused
this.
on, Senator.
Do you have the
if I'm
power to
confirmed
say
as
no to the
Attorney
president?
General.
I love, see, let me say this. Women, I know I give y'all a hard time. I think women do better at stuff like this than men do. Women petty, boy. And they know how to out-petty men on every level. Candace Owens is the pettiest of the petty. One person I would never want to get into an argument with is Candace Owens. I mean, because she'll out-petty your pettiness. Candace Owens could be on a Real Housewives show and she'll tear that whole thing down. Women do better at this. Look how she diverted that question. He talking about Liz Cheney. She's a prosecutor. She knows that he's trying to ask a hypothetical. It's not a hypothetical. Well, Trump is trying to, there you go, it's a hypothetical. You ask me something, Trump has never asked me that. How about you worry about California? How about let's talk about the crime rate in your city while you asking me about Liz Cheney? Boy, I'll tell you what, that's why God made both us, man. Women do this right. Roll it.
If you have no evidence to offer, let me ask you this. Will you now retract your previous statements that Trump won Pennsylvania in the 2020 election, yes or no?
Oh, Senator, I traveled to Pennsylvania, and let me tell you what I saw firsthand.
Yes or
no?
no?
I didn't talk about California because I was not in California. I talked about
Yes or no? Last time I'm going to ask.
I talked about Pennsylvania because
Mr.
I
Chair,
was there.
I'm going to move on because she's
got a
clearly not
court
answering my
order
questions. And
to
I want to know,
observe.
colleagues, for everybody, members of the committee and everybody watching, that the attorney who stood beside Mr. Giuliani was making very similar statements. And he has since been disbarred from multiple jurisdictions for making these false claims about the 2020 election in court. And like Mr. Giuliani, as you've noted today, you've taken an oath to uphold the Constitution just as an attorney. And now you're asking us to consider you to serve as the chief law enforcement officer in our country? So it's imperative, Ms. Bondi, that you subscribe to facts and evidence and not politically convenient conspiracy theories. Your job will be, your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them. Now, I know that earlier you agreed that Joe Biden is in fact president, but many of the president-elect's inner circle continue to spread the big lie about the 2020 election. Then we'll move on to a different topic.
Senator, you were speaking. May I speak? You cut me off when I was speaking.
When I ask you the next question, you can speak, and I hope you answer, Ms. Bondi.
Well, I'd
now,
like
when
to
we met
answer the
yesterday,
previous one, Senator.
when we met yesterday,
You pointed your finger at me and
you
said
did not
you were
seem
speaking.
to be familiar
Let me answer
with
my question.
the
I'm not going to be
Citizenship
bullied by you,
Clause, the
Senator
14th
Padilla.
Amendment of the United States of America, which was deeply disappointing.
I guess you
And I'm
didn't want to
hoping
hear
you're more
my
familiar
answer
with it
about
today
Pennsylvania.
after I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me and this committee what the Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you. If I am confirmed as
You're
Attorney
the one
General,
asking for a confirmation
hey,
vote,
you
ma'am.
cut me off. Can I please finish?
What does the 14th Amendment say?
Senator, the 14th Amendment, we all know, addresses birthright citizenship. I've been a state prosecutor. I've been a state AG. I look forward to, even given your remarks today, working with you and the people of California if I am confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States of America. I didn't take your homework assignment. I'm sorry. I was preparing for today.
Ooh. Owie. Somebody give that man a towel. He about to take a nap. He need a binky. He about to take a nap, man. She wasn't playing. Roll the clip. Bundy, she on it. Roll the clip.
During the election, during the campaign. First,
Look at
Are
this
the
hag.
felons convicted of breaking into the Capitol on January 6th hostages or patriots, quoting Trump, as President-elect Trump has said repeatedly? Do you agree with his characterization of the felons that I referred to?
I am not familiar with that statement, Senator.
I just familiarized you with that statement. Do you agree with that statement?
I'm not familiar with it, Senator.
No answer. He has also said illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of our nation. He said that in December 2023. Do you agree with that statement?
Senator, I am not familiar with that statement, but what I can tell you is I went to the border a few months ago. I went to Yuma, Arizona, and what I saw at that border was horrific, Senator. It was horrific.
Ms. Bondi,
I went to a rape crisis center.
That
If
is
I could
not my
finish,
question.
I went to a rape crisis center. Well, I'm not familiar with the statement, but I
get
went to a
to
rape
the
crisis
next-
center.
Let
I
me
met
get to
with
the
Border
important-
Patrol
Perhaps?
agents. I'm sure you've been to the
Ms.
border
Bondi,
as well, so
I
you
want to
could
get
answer
to my
that.
next question. So
Next one. She whooping them, boy. She whooping them like a kid making an F on his report card. Roll the clip.
So that sounds to me that you're saying that the White House will not have any kind of role. Meanwhile, though, you have an incoming president who said, I have the absolute right to do what I want to do with the Justice Department. And in fact, President-elect Trump considers the DOJ to be his law firm. I ask you this. If President-elect Trump asks, suggests, or hints that you as Attorney General should investigate one of his perceived political enemies, would you do so?
Senator Hirono, I wish you had met with me. Had you met with me, we could have discussed many things and gotten to know
I
you.
am
could
listening
have
to you
gotten
now.
know me.
Could you respond to the question?
Yeah, you were the only one who refused to meet with me, Senator. But what we would have discussed is that it is the job of the Attorney General to
I'm very
follow
happy to
the
listen to
law.
your responses under oath, Ms. Bondi. So I think it's really important to us that the Attorney General be independent of the White House. And you have a president-elect who considers the AG's office his law firm. I would like to know whether if the president suggests, hints, asks, that you as Attorney General should investigate one of his perceived enemies?
Senator, I
do?
certainly have not heard the president say that. But what I will tell you is 2/3 of Americans have lost faith in the Department of Justice. And it's statements like that, I believe,
Ms.
that make
Bondi.
people continue to lose faith. If I am confirmed as Attorney General, it will be my job
Getting
to
on
not
to my
only
next
keep
question,
America
you're not
safe,
responding.
but restore integrity to that department.
Why don't we
and that's
move
what
on
I
to
plan
something
on
that
doing
you said.
every single day as Attorney General.
On August 20th,
All right, next one. Roll it.
The most
Oh, that's my boy right there.
destabilizing act that I
He back
saw
there.
in the past 4 years, maybe in the history of the department, is when Attorney General Garland decided on the basis of dubious facts and untested legal theories to criminally prosecute a former president of the United States. And not only that, this is the special part. He decided to do it after the former president of the United States had announced that he was going to run against Attorney General Garland's boss, didn't he?
Senator, are you referring to going after a political opponent?
I think so. Now, this is one person's opinion.
I love him, man.
That kind of stupid takes a plan. And I say that because, number one, this is America. That had never happened before in America. That's the sort of thing that happens in a country whose Powerball jackpot is 287 chickens and a goat. It doesn't happen here. And I call it stupid because it broke the seal. It broke the seal. It normalized it. There are a lot of ambitious prosecutors in America, Democrat and Republican. And I'll bet you right now there's some prosecutor in a particular state thinking about, well, maybe I ought to file criminal charges against President Biden's inner circle for conspiring to conceal his mental decline. And that's the road we're headed down. And you've got to fix it, Counselor. You've got to fix it. And here's, in my judgment, what I would ask you to do. Find out who the bad guys are and the bad women and get rid of them. Find out who the good people are and lift them up. But do it on the basis of facts and evidence and fairness. Because the temptation of some people is going to be, they're going to tell you, look, two wrongs don't make a right, but they do make it even. Don't resist that temptation. Help us restore legitimacy to the Department of Justice.
Thank you, Senator.
Man, I would love, one of my bucket lists is to have a whiskey and a cigar with Kennedy. I just want just one. I'd probably have a heart attack. I'd be laughing at him so much. He said that a country's Powerball, mega Powerball, is like 200 chickens and a something. I said, a goat. I was like, what do you the Powerball? What do you think of Powerball? How do you think of that, man? He quick, man. But anyway, Miss Bondi is exceptional. I like her responses. I like how confident she is. I think she should be confirmed. Pete Hegseth wasn't, to me, he didn't come across as confident as her in some cases, but I do think he should be confirmed. I think that every single Trump-appointed person should be confirmed. We voted for Trump. We trust Trump to make the decision. Trump has made a decision to nominate these people. They should be confirmed, and let's see how they do. It can't be no worse than what we got right now. They got trends and people doing anime and all kind of crazy stuff they got. They people screwing each other in the White in Congress and all kind on tape. I don't know if y'all remember that. I ain't gonna go too deep into that, but two dudes naked hitting each other, and I mean they talking about they going all in videotaping it. I think they put on their OnlyFans or something. In Congress, in the halls of Congress or wherever room they were in. When they invited a trans person to the West Lawn or whatever, and homeboy pulled his breasts out on TikTok. That's what kind of degeneracy they got. I haven't seen a conservative ever do anything like that. I haven't seen in the Trump's administration, the conservatives have been to the White House plenty of times. I was there many times. I've never seen anybody doing anything like that. Even in his administration, I ain't seen anybody getting jiggy in the. It's just, I feel like they breed this degeneracy. I want to switch topics real quick. We'll go to Bill Maher. Bill Burr. I would say Bill Maher. They need to change their names because I can't get them right. Bill Burr, who's a comedian. Now, Jimmy Kimmel, Kimmel's in Bits, he was crying on this same show, right? On the same show when he brought up the people who are losing their houses and my friends and colleagues have lost their homes. He didn't lose his house. They lost their homes and Donald Trump is mean-spirited. Same show. Roll the clip.
I heard you had to evacuate your home.
Yes. Like most people, I had to. I got lucky, the winds moved, but, the fire was coming and all that stuff. So I feel lucky.
Are you guys back in?
And I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Unlike the internet,
Yeah, right. I know. It's right.
Oh, my God. All of these fire experts. Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean? And then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in L.A. sitting there in his underwear. You know what? Looking at the footage on the internet, I have determined that this here was mismanaged.
You know about helicopters because I remember, and it's interesting now thinking about it because you said
I don't know about it. I know about the one that I fly. Other than that, I don't know anything about it.
You know
But
something
if you're on
about,
the internet, you know everything.
I hope you know about it because you said that you got your pilot's license in case like all hell broke loose in L.A., you could get out of L.A. And at any moment, did you think, I'm going to make a run for that helicopter?
Well, the error in my thought was I didn't realize how expensive helicopters were. So all I have is a two-seater, and I didn't want to have to make Sophie's choice with my family. So, you know, we all piled into the SUV like everybody else. But no, man, these guys were out there clearing the trees, getting the wires back up and everything. You know, I mean, it was like the perfect awful thing that could have happened, and it did. And I love how all the chatter out there is about bands of illegal immigrants and homeless people lighting fires. They light fires every day. They're living outside. They're cold. And this theory that some homeless guy without a car went from Altadena all the way to the Pacific Palisades, and then we have a hang glider. You know, and they're talking about looting. But CNN and Fox News are not going to bring up the insurance companies that are just going to keep everybody's premiums and still give themselves a bonus. Yeah. Yes. Free Luigi. I love how they acted surprised. Why did that happen? I have no idea. He wrote on the bullets why it happened.
Oh, we're back to Luigi. Okay, yeah.
I never left Luigi.
How is Bill Burr, the father, the husband, in an emergency situation?
I don't know. I'm all right. Like
Are you?
when big stuff happens, I get ridiculously calm. My Achilles heel is little things. So, like, if the house was going to be on fire, I would just be like, well, you know, kind of be cool to not own anything. Like, I'll just go into that mode. An opportunity to build a dream house with the money I no longer have. I would just think like that. But, like, little things I flip out at. Like, you know, if I go to make toast and then all of a sudden it burns, I'm like, who the is changing the settings? And what I realized, I just realized this backstage is what it is I learned as a kid when big things are happening, keep your mouth shut or the big thing comes at you. And then I flip out over the little things because I'm emoting about that in this. So I don't make any sense to anybody in my house. They're like, Dad, it's toast. What is the big deal? It's like, well, I would tell you what the big deal was, but it's too sad. So we'll just keep it on the toast.
That was Nick's pick. Nick. Sometimes I think Nick a rhino, but anyway, he's a comedian, right? So he's gonna have a comedic relief, but he say things in a comedic relief that he agree with. I do see his point. Some people are acting a fool and making up conspiracies, but I do think that the government in California screwed people. Now he's talking about once the fire is going, the first responders are responding properly. That's after. They weren't jumping water before the fire came. And homeless people, just imagine this for a minute. And I disagree with Bill Burr on that one. Bill Burr. It's a Bill Maher, a Bill Burr, and Bill Murr. Like somebody got to do something about this. So I disagree with him on this point. Imagine that your house got burned down that you grew up in, and your school that you went to when you were growing, everything that you knew and that you lived through and all your memories all burnt to ash. Would it be funny to you, or would it be acceptable that a homeless person is the reason for this? I mean, I'm just wondering, would that be acceptable? No, you'd be ticked off because they could have gotten them homeless people from up under that thing, but they let them lay down there because they need a home too. But now at the cost of burning everybody else's house down, you ain't even got a house. You burnt down your you burnt down your tent. You didn't got people that lost their whole memories. And the mismanagement happened before the fire. Nobody can deny that. The fact that Gavin Newsom is saying, I'm going to do an investigation that tells you that they effed up. You don't need to do an investigation into something that went as smoothly as it could be and you gave everything you had and you know that the principles are right. You don't need to investigate that. You know that we did everything we can and it's just the worst fire that ever happened. You don't need to do an investigation when a hurricane come through a city and you had everybody evacuate 2 weeks before the hurricane came. And some people just stayed there and got blown away or whatever you want to call it. They mismanaged this. And an investigation is saying, who do I throw under the bus? I knew that Karen Bass was incapable. I allowed Karen Bass to continue to be incapable. But now that it has exposed the fact that she effed up big time, let me do an investigation into Karen Bass. So then we're going to see all the ways she effed up. And Gavin Newsom is going to say, oh, I didn't know she did that. Glad we did the investigation to find out. That's wrong. Karen Bass is thrown under the bus. That's what a snake oil salesman would do to you. He knew she was mismanaging the city. They didn't do enough to clean the brush. It's fire season. It's not just an act of God, meaning that God came out of the sky and just said, I'm going to start sprinkling some fire chips right on it. Oh, burn it. Let it burn, baby. Let it burn. I'm hot up here. I'm cold up here, I mean. I'm going to get, God wasn't doing that. It's that mismanagement and homeless and all kind of stuff, all the concoction of these things all put together was a crescendo effect, and it ended up being what we see today. All right, let's do this other situation. It's a little bit different in politics, but I think it was absolutely crazy. I almost feel sorry for this dude, but I'm like, once a predator, always a predator. Let's play the clip of this guy who's a married man. Unfortunately, he took his own life after he pulled his wang out at a drive-thru at a place here in Phoenix. Now, the restaurant here, I forget the name of it. Let me look at it. It's called Bikini Beans drive-thru. Bikini Beans, normally they're baristas and stuff that do the drive-thru, and they kind of dress like they go into a strip club. That's just their theme, right? So it's very vulgar. I would never eat there or buy anything from this place because I don't like what it stands for. The person who owns the place, I actually followed on social media for a period of time because I wanted to see what entrepreneurial things he was involved in and how could I gain some from something that he's done, not necessarily this place. But this guy comes through the drive-thru, and I guess he's a repeat offender. Now, I didn't read that anywhere, but I'm assuming that he's a repeat offender because she already had the camera out. And this is very sad. I want you guys to know. I'm not trying to make fun of this guy. I'm just presenting news. It's very sad because he has a kid and a wife, and he's no longer with us. But I guess he had been habitually doing this because these women look like freaks and that's giving you baristas. I mean, giving you shakes and whatever they're doing up there, coffees. And I guess he get off on pulling his wang out when he's driving through. So this is what he did, and this is the reaction of the barista. Roll the clip.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Call 911.
So my man pulled his wang out on the girl, said this is unacceptable, call 911. The fact that she had her camera already out ready to go, to me tells me that this guy's a repeat offender and she wanted to catch him in the act, and that's what she did. Now, unfortunately, he goes after this and being blasted on social media. He probably put his wang out there because we had the little emoji in front of it, but the raw footage just got his wang out there. So I don't know if he was embarrassed by his wang or he was embarrassed that he did this, or he embarrassed his wife so much that he decided to go off somewhere and end his life. Now, let me just say this just real quick. It'll be very clear and succinct. I would employ men to avoid being stupid and doing stuff like this. Secondly, if you are a man who's deciding that you think it's a good idea to flash a woman at a drive-thru, the man that does that is the man that is mistreating his wife, is a man that's probably abusing his kids. There is no sane man that's not so sexually deviant that he cannot handle his compulsions, there's no man that's not in that position that will pull their thing out at a drive-through. Multiple times, he probably did it multiple times. And that's why maybe that, along with other stuff that he's done, he probably felt like it was time to end it all. I'll add this. Men, if you find yourself in a situation like this, it ain't the end of the world, bro. There's people that got a lot more that they did online they got embarrassed for than you pulling your wang out. People will laugh at you because, you know, if you ain't working with nothing, they going to make fun of you, all right? If you work with something, you may be a hero. You pull your thing out there, then they talk about you. And then you him, all right? But if you ain't him, bro, that man, hey, it's dumb of you. It's dumb of you to do it anyway, but especially if you ain't him. But regardless of that, don't end your life. You can recover from anything, just about. Now, you'll go to jail. You'll be a registered sex offender for the rest of your life. But you can live to see another day. And I'm being honest about this. I know people make mistakes. I'm trying to have a little grace for the guy. I was at Nordstrom's yesterday, and some kids stole from Nordstrom's and ran out the store, and they loss prevention was like the SWAT team, and they had taken them down. And then one kid come in there, looked like he in high school, crying and, let me explain. You can recover from that, man. After a while, you go to jail. The cops came and escorted him. He looked like an idiot walking through Nordstrom's, knowing that everybody know that he had the perp walk. And you can recover from that. At some point, people are going to forget. This is one thing that I learned back when I had a kid out of wedlock when I was at church. When I knew I was messing up, and I said, okay, I messed up. I'm never going to do it again, right? I stayed over too late. That girl fine as I don't know what. And I just decided that I just like, all right, it just overwhelmed me, right? I was like, I'm just going to do this and then it'll be over. I don't even think I was thinking about it. Once it was over, I said, okay, God, please forgive me. I'll never do it again. I know what I was thinking. I put myself in a bad position. I'm never going to do that again. Like, forgive me. I want to still serve in the church. I want to still do everything. I don't know what I don't know what I was thinking. I don't want to be this person, whatever the case may be. And I think it happened one more time after that. And I remember the day. And I had that same conversation. God, I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm going to get married to this girl. Maybe we can make it right. Like, I just don't want to. And then she texts me, I'm pregnant. I remember the flash that flashed before me was that everything is over. My reputation is over. Everybody that I witnessed to on campus, all the players that played on the team, when I was so on fire about Jesus, that I witnessed to, that I did Bible study with, that I invited to the church, many of them got baptized. All of that is going to go away. I'm going to be the laughing stock of everything. I'm an embarrassment. I embarrass my church. I embarrass my family. I embarrass God. It is over for me as far as my reputation. Now, I knew I had to push through it. I had to tell my pastor, had to tell my daddy. My mama said she already knew. My mama got an intuition. She said, I knew you were going to have a kid this year. I'm like, Mama, how you talking about you know I'm going to have a kid this year? But she said she know I'm going to have a kid this year. I'm like, how you know? I was saved. I'm saved. How am I going to have a kid? I'm saved. So regardless of that happening, I had to apologize to the church. That's why I did the video that I did, because I understand what that was like. But getting to the story of a sister at the church told me, she said, Brother Brandon, I know you think it's all over, and I know this is very hard for you, but I did the same thing when I was your age. And then this is a woman that was in the choir singing. She's holier than thou. She got everything going for her in the church. I mean, I admired her. She's a great woman. I thought she was perfect. I'm like, I'm the one cutting up. I can't keep my stuff together. These people are all good. I'm surrounded by great people, and I'm the failure. And I remember her saying, when I was your age, I did the same thing. I had to sit out the choir. When I had him, right over here, she pointed at her son. When I had him, I had to sit out the choir. And I had to do all this. And it really gave me hope to say, it's never final. And also, another concept that I always think about is that people are going to get to know you at different places in your life. Some people are going to know you at your lowest. Some people are going to know you at your highest, and they'll never know you ever were low, ever in your life. So you never give up. Never feel like something is final. I know somebody need to hear this, because at some time period, you will overcome that which happened to you. It will become a distant memory, and you're going to gain new memories and new people and new relationships in this new thing that you're involved in now. And that's going to be the difference maker. I always remember that. I remember when I was broke, dusted, and disgusted, skinny and weird, and then people met me then, they thought I was weird. Then now I'm a little better. Now I'm a little better. And then over time, I'm a little better. Now people know me as Officer Tatum. And 6-7 years ago, I was a police officer. I didn't have no social media file. I never wrote a book. I didn't know nothing about social media. I wasn't even really on social media like that. Follow it now, boom. Let me say this because somebody need to hear it. And I'm gonna go to super chats. I'm gonna say this because somebody need to hear this real quick. I remember at one point in my life where I felt inferior, and I felt like I had been left behind. I felt like all these people are doing better than me. I remember people used to kind of trash on me, and I knew I was better than them, but they would gaslight me or treat me some type of way. And I remember it used to bother me. And people had more following than me. People had what I thought was a better life than me. They made more money than me. They were doing all these things. They were married. I was single. They were happy. I wasn't. I mean, all of these things had happened in my life. Fast forward to today, and this is not a boast. This is me encouraging somebody. Fast forward today, some of the same people that were married that I once envied are divorced. Some of the people that I thought was making a lot of money really wasn't making a lot of money, and I make way more than they do now. Some of the people that had a big social media following didn't do it with integrity, and they either don't have it, they lost it, or they're stagnant, and my social media is growing. My influence is growing. People that I thought was so heroic and excellent in speaking where I doubted myself, now I speak more than they do, and now I'm a better speaker than they are. The same Brandon Tatum that used to let this get upset him or whatever the case may be, and now I look back on it, I'm better than he was. For whatever it's worth, nothing is final. Things will come to pass. Don't get weary in well-doing, because if you don't quit, you will reap. And also, don't ever envy the position of other people and think that God has forgotten about you. Because in due season, if you keep doing well, you will eventually get to where you want to be, and you will look back and say, God has elevated me over all those people that treated me wrong, that hated on me, or people I felt a slight envy of because I thought they were doing where I wanted to be. And God has now put me above that. And the God could do the same for you because we serve the same God. All right, let me get some super chats real quick. All righty. I need to hear all of that. Beat Tatum. I appreciate it. I think I'm at the bottom. Oh, that's okay. Okay. Let's see. Texas Toast. It says just to throw. I guess that's a throw. Just to throw it out there about your last video regarding Carey. I think it says Dean Carey. Carrie Underwood, I'm assuming. In The View, they got paid to be that stupid. They get paid to be that stupid. I know that's even crazier. God dang. You just messed my whole day up. Now I remember that they get paid millions of dollars and they that stupid. Insane. Senator Kennedy is like the favorite uncle at the family reunion, 100%. He's like the uncle that everybody want to hear tell stories because he is just probably the funniest guy that I've ever heard of. Anyway, Texas Toast said, I need to hear all of that, B. Tatum. I appreciate it, Texas Toast. Even if it's just one person need to hear that, I feel like God put on my heart to do it. Somebody need to hear that encouragement. That's tragedy could be a blessing for somebody else or a blessing in somebody else's life. I'm pretty new here, but I like your content. I can't see that. I just want to say God bless you and yours. Is that what it say? Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. That's one thing. Also, if you want to join the Tatum Squad, join the Tatum Squad. There's benefits and perks. You can look at it. If you hit the join button, you can see what perks are on there. I appreciate it. I got one more super chat. Yeah, it was one that just popped up. Love your message. Keep grinding, brother. Savage Steve, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. And thank y'all for watching. This is shorter live today. I got other stuff I have to do today, but I really appreciate everybody coming on live. I appreciate you watching the content. I'm so excited that Donald Trump won. We cannot forget the good feeling that we had on election night of us finally coming across with the hot sauce. Got another super chat. Coming across with the hot sauce. Also, I'm going to the inauguration, so wish me luck. I hope that it's worth it. I think it will. Everybody keeps saying it's going to be a great time. With me, I'm thinking about it's probably 0 degrees out there, and we're going to be sitting in for 5 hours waiting on the inauguration. It's a blessing to be there, but I hope I'm not there just freezing my butt off. Let's see, Texas Toast said those types, those typos went too hard in my first chat. My bad. Let's see. Notice everyone falls in line because because of Trump. So yeah, 100%. He's a leader of men, and they're gonna respect him, or he gonna make them respect him. One of the two gonna happen. They're gonna do it voluntarily, or they're gonna do it by force. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all coming on. I'll be back tomorrow and Friday, and then I'll be gone for the weekend. We'll be at the inauguration. I'm going to try to get some content. And Monday we're off for Martin Luther King Day and the inauguration. And Tuesday we'll be back for the show. If you haven't already, make sure you go to tatumstore.com, and get some of your cool merch. We got some inaugural merch. We got a whole bunch of other cool stuff. The carpets are still, the doormats are still there. We're still working through developing as much as we can. We don't want to get backed up on it. So we're going to try to do those doormats as fast as possible. There's over 1,000 people that want one. It's no way in the world we're going to be able to do 1,000 unless somebody knows somebody that can help us do these. We got the mats, but it takes time to do the mats. But anyway, go on there. 20% off if you put SEAL 20. If you're a Tatum Squad member, you get 30% off. If you are a second level Tatum Squad member, I think it's called, I forget what it's called. The second one, Team Tatum something. You'll get a higher discount. I think I may do 35, 40%, something like that. We did 40. You talked to Benji, we got it done. All right, so you get 40% off the store if you were a top tier Tatum member, and it's just $8 a month or something like that. It's not like a crazy amount of money. So, but anyway, go there. Shenergy is on its way. It should have been here a month ago. The Shenergy T4s it was supposed to come in like 4 days ago. We look at the tracking, and it's in Georgia somewhere. I am ticked that I haven't gotten that product yet, because I've been wanting to have an opportunity to use it consistently and not just the sample. I wanted to consistently use the testosterone supplement that I created. And I want to also get it to the people that wanted it. So Shenergy is my new brand. Some of you guys know I own Shenergy. I want it to be a worldwide brand. So I sometimes I don't say all the time that I own Shenergy on certain platforms because I don't want it to pigeonhole the company. However, I started the company. It's called Tatum Beverages, and Shenergy is my lifestyle line. And so right now we have T-Force, which is a testosterone supplement. And then we also have a day and a night drink, which will be here in probably March, hopefully. And it's a day drink, an energy drink to give you, it really mostly focus on focus, not so much as giving you a lot of energy and jitters. It gives you a lot of energy and focus. I want to focus on focus, right? Because the most important thing that a lot of people do is they're also looking for a pick-me-up, but they want to be functional and focused while they're doing things. And then nobody's doing sleep drinks that are adequate at all. So we developed the complete energy with having a sleep drink where you can drink it. It tastes phenomenal. It tastes like candy, to be honest. And you can drink it before you go to bed. It give you a good night's sleep, help you recover, help you wake up with energy, coupled with an energy drink. Without, I think we only got like 70-some grams of caffeine in it. We didn't want to put too much caffeine. Those together will give you complete energy. You take that over time, your life will change, in my opinion. So we got a whole bunch of other products to go. Right now I have my formulator putting together a hydration drink. We got it all. I want to make Shenergy a lifestyle, not just a supplement company. So we got merch. I got a 40 by faith is my challenge. So I got a challenge that goes along with it. I'm gonna try to create a journal where you can journal your progress throughout the day with scripture and different things like that. I want to make it a community. I want Shenergy to do 5Ks. I want us to really turn Shenergy into a lifestyle. And those of you who don't know why I named it Shenergy, one day I'm gonna explain it in its totality. But if you look at the name, it's Shenergy. So Shen is the 21st letter of the Hebrew language, and it's a significant meaning that's associated with God. And I think it's a perfect fitting for a lifestyle, right? If you guys who wear Nike, Nike is a Greek god called Nike. So you're representing or wearing a Greek god. And I want people to wear our God that we serve through the letter Shin. Okay? So I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. We out of here.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47